What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Honky Tonk Highway, episode 20. That's right, episode 20, and today is going to be special because it is not one, not two, but three guests. Thank you all for watching so far. Like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. That way you can see everything we're doing. Huge shout out to everyone who tuned in today for my duo streams on Streamline of the Duo Teaches. A little work in progress, but hey, we're getting there, and it's a fun time to be had. So today's guest, they are the brains and especially the beauty, not sure which one they wants to call themselves which, behind World Dance Masters. That's right, World Dance Masters Week. Proud to be a line dancer. Ladies and gentlemen, Nicola Lafferty, Conor McGrath, and Samuel Robbins. Thank you guys for joining me.
Hi.
This is going to be fun. I know everyone at home is definitely anxious to be hearing from you guys today.
Fun. It will. Thanks for having us, Kelly.
Do what?
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. I there's no way I was going to do a World Dance Master Week and not think I'm calling you guys first. Come on. I let Fred kick off the craziness yesterday, though. That way it gave you a little bit of a break.
Yeah. Fred's a hard act to follow.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, though, that no one's going to be threatened to throw a pen at you, though. I'm pretty sure of that.
I need to find one.
Where's Georgina? Yeah.
Just to annoy Georgina. I'm just like...
So before we get into the history behind Masters, why don't we get a little history behind how y'all got started in dancing?
Oh, who's going first?
Oh, Nicola, ladies first.
Okay, I'll go first. So I started dancing when I was a toddler, tap, ballet, jazz, all of that kind of stuff. And when I was late teens, I was doing a show and I got really sick. And I had to take a year out of everything. I couldn't dance, I couldn't do anything. And there was a local line dance class. And my mum said to me, that would be good to get you back into dancing. And I was like, I'm not doing line dancing. That's so rubbish. Don't want anything to do with it. It's completely yee-haw. I'm a proper dancer. I'm not going. So another 3 months or so, I was just losing the will to live. And eventually I went and I absolutely loved it. It was Lynn McCombie's class in Howard and I went with a few friends. And I think the first dance I learned was American Pie. And I just was hooked, completely hooked. And then from there, a few people said, you should get into competitions. I went to Liz Clark's class, Mad Lizzie Clark. I went to the Scottish Gathering. And then that was pretty much it. That's how I got into line dancing. All started in the social scene, and that's why I love social dancing so much as well.
Yeah, similar story on my side as well. If I remember, I must have been about 11, and it was when my parents used to go out at a weekend, so that I had to go and stay at my grandma's. And so my grandma used to line dance, so I ended up going with her because I had no other option. I couldn't stay home alone. And I remember I started with Jean Webb, who teaches in Blackpool. And still teaching today, and there was myself, and there was a couple of other youngsters that were also part of the class, including Jean's kids, and just loved it. It just became sort of like every Saturday night. Then used to go to some more classes with my gran. Used to just love all the social aspects of it, and from there sort of moved into competition, where we all met as friends as well. So that's where I first met Nicola. Just traveled the world as a competitor when I was sort of 12, 13, going to the US. But all started on the social side as well, and just loved the whole, everything about it.
Mine's a bit different. I started one of my childhood friends, Brenda Dorman. I think she's watching. I've seen her log in. Her aunt used to run a dance club in our local town, and Fred used to be part of the same dance club. He talked a little bit about it last night. The Central Line Dance Club. That's where we all began, probably about, I would say, 2003, maybe before that, 2002. Jessica Devlin joined, Fred joined. Fred was there before us, actually, and Brenda. So that's kind of how I got into it. And then I kind of left for a little while and then came back again and joined World Dance Masters.
Nice. I actually remember meeting you, Nicola, when you danced Pro-Am in UCWDC with Ronnie D. Benedetta.
Ronnie D, yeah.
Yep.
Love dancing with Ronnie.
Yes,
Might get back to it one day.
All right, so now that we got the history of how y'all got dancing, how did World Dance Masters come about? How did y'all come up with that?
Sam, do you want to take that?
Yeah, I mean, we were sure. We were always like, dancing together, and on the competition circuit. We all started with, working with Masters in Line and competing there. And then an opportunity came up sort of, 11 years ago now for us to, run some of our own events. So myself and Nicola, we set up World Dance Masters, started, quite small, although, and built from there. So I think we took our first, when we were running at World Championships, to Manchester. And that was where we sort of, at the Palace Hotel, I think it was. I remember those now, casting my mind back. And then as we continued to build, we got this, amazing privilege to be able to take an event back to the Winter Gardens in Blackpool, which is such a special venue. So, worked on building that up. And then since then, we've just, continued to, grow and expand. It's such a an amazing community, and everyone's really supportive of what we do. So I think off that, people have just been really supportive and helped us build. Nicola's been like the mastermind behind anything to do with the competition. Of course, that's sort of her her baby as well. So I want to let Nicola answer on that side of the growth of that.
Yeah, Sam does all the organisation. Like, I don't know how he does it, honestly. Like, everything behind the scene, the website, and since Conor's come on board as well, and now he's drinking wine, I should be really worried. And since Conor's come on board, like the social media side has just really taken off. But we started from Masters Online. It was Rob, Rachel, Pedro, and Paul who started this amazing vision. Back in the day, we were all part of it. I judged for it, and then, as Sam said, the opportunity came up for us to take on even more when Rob decided he was moving to Spain and retiring from it, and we just took it and ran with it, and hopefully we've put our own kind of spin on it as well, because it used to be when we first started Masters as World Dance Masters, it's like, oh yeah, that's Masters Online. It's been a few years since I've heard us referred to as that, so hopefully the World Dance Masters brand's kind of got its own identity now, rather than, oh, that's the old Masters Online. I hope we've kind of proved ourselves with that, and much as we owe everything to Rob, Rachel, Paul and Pedro for what they started, and who were mentors and role models for all of us, I think.
Yeah, I remember the first time we came over a couple of years ago and walking into the Blackpool in Winter Gardens and just looking around and like, they're holding an event here? And then,
I sometimes get really jealous of America because you have such amazing event hotels that you can have these things in, and we just don't have that over here. But on the flip side of that, I don't think there's another venue in the world like the Winter Gardens.
Yeah.
The first time I feel the Americans have to stay in a Blackpool B&B, I was like, oh no, here's your hotel, and run. So you can't.
It wasn't bad because the walk to and from ours wasn't horrible. It was only like 5 minutes, but I don't know. Going in, and even though we're not in the same location, we have to walk home afterwards. Walking in and getting to be up on that glass catwalk to do the videos and pictures and seeing that beautiful, beautiful atmosphere, I don't know if anything can beat that. I'm sorry.
Well,
even in America.
It's got such a history of dance, like the competitions that have taken place there historically over the years. For us to have that opportunity for our dancers to be in that venue, it is a privilege for us to be there. It really is.
So, all right. Before the questions start rolling in, because I see people logging in that are usually infamous for asking good ones. Let's get the one out of the way that I'm sure is going to get asked. Status of World Dance Masters this year. Let's get that out of the way now.
Okay. Sam, do you want... Oh, we lost Conor?
Conor's taken that as I'm leaving.
That was strategic.
Yeah.
That was good timing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's obviously top of mind for everyone. It's top of mind for us as well. First and foremost, like the safety of all the dancers and all the spectators and our judges and every member of staff that comes to the event is obviously of primary importance, and that's what we're thinking about right now. It's such a large event with people from 30 countries, so there's a lot for us to think about and a lot for us to take into account. The UK government at the moment hasn't issued any guidance that extends to that period yet. So, what we really have to do is we're waiting to hear what the guidance is going to be before we can make any formal decision on, what the status of Worlds 2020 will be. Like I mentioned, like the most important thing is everyone's safety. And at the same time, we've got to also make the decision at the right time. With government guidance from a business perspective at the same time. So there's a lot of different nuances to what we're working with at the moment, but everyone should know that we are thinking about it very, very clearly right now, and we're contingency planning significantly for anything that may or may not happen. But that's sort of where we are with it. Nicola, anything you would like to add?
No, just that we are desperate to know what's going on as well, and unfortunately with the way things are at the minute, we just can't make a decision until we have the government guidelines, because our contracts and everything, just financially, we need to wait. However, that being said, we will always do what's in the best interest of our dancer. That has always been our primary concern, and it will continue to be. So if we have to make the tough decision, we will. However, we really need to wait on the government guidance before we make any kind of final decision. And we know it's frustrating, and we know you all want to know. We know we do as well. But please trust us in that we're doing the best we can behind the scenes to get everything organised in every eventuality.
Yeah, like Jen says, she knows the feeling with Fun in the Sun coming up. What's going to happen?
Yeah.
And we are joined back by Conor. Conor, everyone in the chat is very happy you decided to return to us.
Yeah.
They thought you...
I'm not sure if it's working. Is it working or...
Your voice is coming through.
Oh, yeah.
But your picture's kind of frozen.
Oh, that's okay. Oh, he's going to hate me for that.
Yeah, the voice is coming through, but the picture's frozen. Think he's going to leave again.
Yeah. But yeah, just on that, I mean, I think, so many event directors are going through similar situations right now. And I think being an event organizer at this time, like, I have just like so much respect for what people are going through. Like, we've got to, everyone's trying to balance the right decision for all the dancers and everyone that's, everyone that attends the events and supports. But there's this other side of it that people maybe don't always see, because of the tracks that are in place, and there's outgoings and financial liabilities, and that can make, I'm sure for big companies, they're sometimes easier decisions to make. But when you're a really small company or you're running just one event, they can be really difficult decisions to make. They can be make or break decisions. So hence why all of these things have to sort of stack up and be balanced to be done at the right time, so that we can live to run it again if anything does happen.
I know I'm looking for it. I'm hoping it goes on. I've been looking at flights, and they're really cheap right now to come to England. Like, let me get on a plane. Come on.
You get as well. You can sit wherever you want because no one else is on them.
Hey, more room for me. That's fine. More room, more drinks. We're good. Conor, Stacey says you're the pretty one. We got you back.
Thank you, Stacey. Thanks, Stacey.
Well, maybe now he's frozen again.
Oh, no.
We can hear you fine and dandy, but for some reason your picture keeps freezing. But
it's a pretty picture, so don't worry. You look great with your tan.
Oh, no.
So I'm going to ask the question as the question rolled in. So I usually ask everyone a question, and I know, Nicola, you loved this one yesterday, the unlimited money question. But I'm going to alter it some because y'all do a pretty great job of bringing in as much as possible anyway. So if you had no unlimited budget, what is the one thing each of you would add to WDM?
Oh, I know that too.
Rascal Flats.
Conor already spends like he has unlimited money on the event. I'm sure he has some ideas that maybe haven't been funded yet, but I would love to hear Conor's ideas on unlimited funds.
I'm telling you what, if we had unlimited funds, the show would be... It's already amazing, but I mean, the lights, the fireworks, you name it, we would have it. Whatever we can spend it on, I would spend it.
The show. Well, the shows are always really special, aren't they? And I think, I would agree with that. I think I would put more into the show to make it more of a production, although I think we do a great job already. And we've always had this little, me and Nicola remember always having this little joke that, and this will be good for the UK people, but the US people may not get the connection, but we said we would bring in Ant and Hector, who are TV entertainers, who TV entertainers in the UK. And then I was like, we should just get... I remember when we had Listen as one of the songs, I think. And we were like, if we win the lottery, we're just going to pay Beyonce to come and sing that song.
We've got big dreams,
Oh, man.
Artists to come in and sing them live.
Yeah. I would just have like Rascal Flatts, Garth Brooks, Luke Bryan. I would have the lot. Brett Young.
About to say, if you're going to want Rascal Flatts, you got to catch it this year. This year's supposed to be their farewell tour.
Oh, really?
But if we had unlimited money, they would come. It would be fine.
Absolutely.
That's true. They probably would come out of retirement to come.
Yeah, probably. And I'm like, if we had unlimited money, like I don't think I wouldn't opt to take it to a different venue, even though that would limit our capacity. Because one of the things that I think the Winter Gardens is such a special place. Like, I was thinking, like, would we want to bring as many people as possible so we can bring a venue? But actually, I think I would love to just keep it there, but just like add live acts and big production. And hey, why not just make it free at the same time? It's unlimited money.
Yeah, give away cars and things, prizes. I would love that. It would be amazing. Yeah. But what I would love to do if we had unlimited money would be to take Country Vibe on tour. I've said that for a good couple of years now. Take Country Vibe on tour. And the first place we'd go would be back to South Africa because we had such a great trip there. Country Vibe did go to South Africa a couple of years ago and it was such a great experience for us all. So if we had unlimited money, I would get a proper tour bus for Country Vibe and we'd just go off and tour the world.
Fred, does that mean you get in the bus? You still have to push the bus, Fred.
Oh no, we don't have a private jet maybe, actually. We don't need a bus, do we? Unlimited money.
If it's unlimited money, why are you going to...
Yeah,
no, absolutely. I actually just saw a really good comment that was like, build a massive hotel. I think absolutely we should do that.
Yes.
The question is where, though?
Well, on top of it. Like, we'll just buy the Winter Gardens and just build it on top of it. Like, there's ample room. But that is definitely one of the advantages, like Nicola said, of the US events where you have these big convention hotels and you can have all this space and everyone can be in one sort of venue. Like, that's definitely one of the things that, you know, is a real value add out there.
I don't know. When I go to Vegas has all the convention space. It takes me longer to walk from the ballroom to my hotel room in Vegas, though, in the same hotel, than it does for me to walk from the Winter Gardens to my B&B. So...
Oh, no.
The walk is less, so sometimes that's not always the best thing.
Yeah, true.
It's like going, I'm sure Nicola remembers from going over to the Gaylord for the Opryland.
Oh, yeah.
You can get lost.
I took my mum with me a couple of times, and I used to live in fear that I would never see her again. My mum's sense of direction is legendary. Like, she has none at all. She'll literally turn out the hotel and be like, I have no idea where I am. So there was a few times she got lost there. It was hilarious.
Yeah, there was one year we played Capture the Flag. Like at 2 o'clock in the morning, a bunch of us line dancers. Roy had as a Brodo, Guyton, Hypno, and we actually lost Roy had as a Brodo for about 3 hours. We actually had no idea where he was, and he could not find his way back to the ballroom. So
once you lose your bearings, that's it. You've got no chance.
Place to maze.
So, any new additional events that y'all plan on doing in the future?
Yeah,
well, obviously not right this moment, Sam, but adding more World Dance Masters events along the way.
There's a big one coming up, actually, in the USA.
Yes.
So for the first time ever, World Dance Masters is going to Florida, and it's going to be hosted by the amazing Rachel McEnany. So we're really looking forward to that. That's actually in February, I want to say. So for anyone from the USA that's watching, I think you should maybe come and see us and see what we're all about, because it's going to be absolutely amazing.
Yes, February.
Yeah.
God, where else, Nick? What else? I mean...
We've had actually loads of inquiries this year about people from other European countries wanting to run events, but obviously everything's a bit on hold just now with the current climate. So maybe not so many new events kind of 2020 into 21, but hopefully the following year we'll be able to confirm a few of the events that people were asking us about. It's just such a difficult time, and it's understandable, but we'll go with it. We love going all over the world, so we've got such a great team, because, I mean, although the three of us are on today, it's the World Dance Masters core group, it's much bigger than that. We have people we just couldn't do all of this without, and they're not just dancers, they are essential members of the team, and we couldn't run the events without them. And we're all friends, and I think sometimes people don't get that. Like, we are actually all really good friends. I think the Country Vibe experience brought a lot of us together in that way, but we are actually all friends now, and whether dancing was there or not, whether Masters was there or not, I think we all still would be in each other's lives now, which is really nice.
If y'all had to pick your favorite part of the event, the social side or the competition side, what would it be?
Thinking between two children, that's a terrible like, we love them both equally. They're both such unique aspects to the event, and I think that's what makes it so special, is that they are as big as each other. Like, people integrate, they both have their own dynamics, which are so incredibly special. The fact that you can just like nip to one ballroom and do some social dancing with, whether it's Michelle or it's Rachel or it's Fred in the Spanish Hall and Dave up there, and then come and watch some of like the best competition that's being run by Nicola, in the ballroom. Like, we can't pick between our children. I mean, Nicola might.
No, well, my favourite part of the event actually is the part that combines both. It's the show. Like, that's by far my favourite. Even though it's the most stressful thing I ever do. I mean, I can run the competition now. It doesn't faze me, but that show every time stresses me out. I think because we all care so much about it, and I know how much work and effort everyone puts into the show. But I think the show, because it has a combination of social and competitors and staff, and the room is just packed with competitors and social dancers, it's the one time in the event, probably that and the Sunday night after party where everyone just comes together.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The Sunday night after party, that is crazy. Yeah. I really thought the floor was going to cave in when Simon got everyone jumping up and down in the circle. I was in the middle of it with a video camera, and I'm like, I was like losing my footing from the floor shaking. Like, I don't know if I feel safe right now. It was bad. Like, all I could see is Simon losing it and dropping through is all I could be picturing when I'm in the middle of that. I was like, no.
Yeah, it's just relief for everyone. I think for the staff and for the competitors, the Sunday night is just a huge. It's been adrenaline all weekend, and then it's a chance to relax. And the social guys do such an amazing job up there. I mean, Dave just keeps that ballroom buzzing. Michelle as well in the arena, Rachel, Fred, everyone just pulls together as a full team effort. And because we have such a good team, it means we can all dot about, do our jobs, and hopefully make the event as good as we can. But we're always looking to improve. Always. Any criticisms or advice anyone wants to give us, we always take it on board if we can. But we're always trying to make each event better. But it's hard sometimes. It really is, because Sam and I and Conor, we all have full-time jobs now. Yeah. It's like we also have careers that we have to. Well,
kind of right now.
It is something we all have to kind of. And that's why we rely so much on the team we have around us. I don't really consider the three of us the Masters team. There's a much wider Masters team, and it is like a family. It really is.
Yeah. I just had a question come in for you, Nicola, from Paul James.
Oh no!
Here we go.
He wants to know if you could only save one. Would it be Domino's, Texas barbecue, or Millie's cookies?
Without doubt, Domino's Texas barbecue. No hesitation. As long as it's a large one with a garlic and herb dip, all to myself, I'm good with that.
Nice.
And that's a little secret on what happens on Sunday in the judges' room for the competition and before the awards start. We always order like a dozen Domino's pizzas and get them shipped. And Nicola is required to have her personal Texas barbecue ready to go.
To be fair, I don't make many demands, but that is like on my, what do you call that wee list? But that's on my list.
Your wish list. Oh yeah, whatever it is. Yeah, but that's another interesting thing. Like, people don't know behind the scenes, but literally, like, on that Sunday, like, we finish at whatever it is, 5:30. We have about an hour turnaround where all the judges go and get changed, and then we need to feed them. So there's like a back door where there's a Domino's pizza man usually waiting with
I'm changing my mind. That's the best part of the weekend.
And then we're preparing for, we've got the medleys that take place, and then the awards, and there's the whole confetti thing, which is a nightmare. But we love it really.
Yeah, and I think that's when Sam and I know, like, the past few years, every time those confetti cannons go off, because a lot of the times we're like, why do we do this again? Can someone remind us? And then every year at the competitors' parade, when we let off those confetti cannons, Sam and I just look at each other and we're like, yeah, this is why we do this. We
do
love
it for epic pictures.
That's what it is. Yeah. And you take a lot of them, so you and Kelly capture most of them, so it's great.
Question came in for Conor.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I would be a little scared, too, because the question,
no.
It says, what's your all-time favorite dance, and what did you ever do with your red leotard?
Oh, no. Who's that from?
That was interesting.
Brenda Dorman.
Oh, of course.
She said, hashtag European champion.
I actually think that red leotard is in South Africa. I think it was given to Nadia's kids, donated over to the kids. My favourite all-time dance, oh my God. I don't know, maybe Have Fun, Go Mad. I think that is my favourite at the minute. Come Alive, obviously, I love. That was such a good moment at Worlds 2019, I think. No, 2018 it was. And then obviously we were all at Crystal Boots and Shane and Rachel won the award. And I thought, so I do like Come Alive. And I remember the atmosphere in the room whenever we did it. It was a Sunday night party in Worlds. We had the different room. It was the downstairs, what was it called? The Olympia. And I remember the dance being done in the party night. And it was just, the atmosphere was incredible. That dance I really, really like. I remember going on to win the Crystal Boot. We were all really emotional. Well, Nicola was crying. She had her tissues out.
What are you saying? I don't cry. I don't cry at anything.
I think classic dance would be Have Fun, Go Mad. And I think newest dance, newish, would be Come Alive, definitely.
Nice. Stacey says she is not sweeping with you this year. Stacey, wasn't the broom taller than you were? Didn't the broom you have that was almost taller than you were?
Probably.
The
Probably.
sweeping it up.
Yeah, that's just
It's a nightmare.
I regret it as soon as we let those confetti cannons off. Afterwards, and I'm like, okay, that was good. People really loved that, but yeah.
The best part was the year you had to do it all pretty much by yourself. I think I had an evening dress and heels on, so I wasn't moving. And somebody put on I Want to Break Free.
Harry.
Oh, and do you know what was brilliant about that? Because we all know how funny Sam is. Like, Sam cracks us all up. He's hilarious. But I don't think a lot of people see that side of him, you know, when he's got his professional, because he's always so professional. But that time at Worlds, Sam just let it all go. It was brilliant.
Professional. I'm sat here drinking on a live webcam chat with 200 people.
But the year Sam got to do I Want to Break Free while sweeping up the floor, it was absolutely brilliant. I loved that. So good.
Iconic.
Don't worry, Sam. You're not the first person who's drank on my live feed. You're fine.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'm usually in bed by now. Like, this is how I'm staying awake.
Earlier today on the Streamline one, apparently there's a challenge going around over in the UK and Europe of the 3 shots. You nominate someone to do 3 shots, and one of the instructors was one of the nominees, so he literally did 3 shots at the end of his teach. So
yeah, I won't be doing
that. A glass of wine, that's nothing compared to what's been drank already on my live feeds. You're good. Okay, let's see what some of the stuff coming in here. Like Daniel even said, he was drinking, of course. Yeah, Daniel, we did drink on your episode. Yeah, that was right. Okay, let's see here. What is the one thing any of y'all would change about the World Dance Masters, if you could?
Oh, that's really hard.
Oh, I know.
We could change anything.
I mean, if I could attach a hotel to the Winter Gardens, that would be the first thing. I think the other, oh gosh,
difficult, that one.
Yeah, it is difficult. That would be the first thing. If I sat down and thought about it properly, I'm sure there's lots of things. But I think the first thing is can someone please build a hotel that attaches to the Winter Gardens?
Lauren says get rid of the stairs.
Oh. But to be fair, I think we always try, and if there is something we want to do, we do try and do it. You know, if there's something a few years ago, we're like, right, we need a country room. Let's try and get some live music in there, which we've done. Last year we wanted to add some live music into the show, which we did. You know, so we're always trying to do something a bit different and a bit more. But we can be doing with another couple of ballrooms actually in the Winter Gardens if that's possible. We're running out of space. And we sold out Social for the first time this year, which is incredible. So a bit more space, another ballroom, that would be good.
Well, we do have one, but that's another discussion.
This is Conor and his unlimited budgets again.
But already, isn't there a 4th ballroom being added this year? A 4th room? Yeah,
a small one,
yeah.
That's what there's potential for a 5th, right, with the Olympia that we had the year that we couldn't have the Spanish Hall.
Right.
But yeah, well, I don't think we're quite there yet.
A couple people said
one day.
A couple of people said let's add air cons.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We try so hard on that. We try. I mean, actually, those rooms have air conditioning, but it's just not very. I mean, they just fixed all of those roofs and didn't put more ventilation in, which sounds crazy to me. But we hire all of the air conditioning units that are available in the local hire shop in Blackpool. That's literally the maximum that they have. So you sort of sit and wait and hope that the weather looks like it's going to be quite dull, which is pretty typical, for August in Blackpool. But if you do get some hot weather, then it's really hard to control. And then on the opposite side, if it rains at all, there are usually leaks everywhere. This is the challenge with a ballroom and a venue that's been built. If Jamie Wally's on, he'll know the exact date that it was built. I don't know. But it's old. So yeah, I agree with that sentiment.
Nice. Someone said make it a week long. And this actually goes into the question that just came up from Fred Whitehouse. He says, as the growth of WDM is growing and growing, do you ever see you guys outgrowing the Winter Garden or even adding another day?
If things keep going the way they are, it's something we're going to have to look at. And that's quite a lot of that is Fred's fault, along with Shane McKeever's fault, and the amount of pro-am that they have, which is a great problem to have. However, they could probably do with a whole extra day just for pro-am. But we are very lucky. We're one of the few organisations that are getting busier and busier and busier year on year. So we are going to have to accommodate that eventually. But if we have another day, it's another day in the Winter Gardens, and you would not believe the cost of the Winter Gardens. So it's hugely expensive to add another day on. But the only we've spoken about this before, we talk about things like this all the time. The only bigger place to go really is a convention centre. Like the NEC or the Scottish Exhibition and Conference Centre. That's where any other events that have kind of outgrown the Winter Gardens have gone. And then you're going to lose that atmosphere that's in the Winter Gardens. So I think we've still got room to grow with the competition side. That main ballroom is massive. I think we've still got room to keep expanding in there. It's the social side of it, but there are options for that as well. So part of me is like, yeah, it would be good to get even bigger, but I also love what we have. And it is a real family feel. You can go into any of the ballrooms and you get made to feel welcome by everyone that's there. It's a really friendly atmosphere. I don't know if you would lose that if you went to a much bigger venue. But if Fred and Shane and James keep going with their pro-am, then it might be an option.
Julie wants to know, would you ever move it to the Norbrook? I think Sam's face said it all.
No, we've spoken about this before. We have spoken about it, because again, it would be another option, and all the rooms are on site. There's lots of advantages to being in the Norbrook. There really is, and the Crystal Boot Awards is a great event. We all love going to the Crystal Boots every year. We love it. Being central, though, is quite good for us, because a lot of our families come with children. So if there's kids that don't dance, they can go out and do stuff in Blackpool and things like that, and there's a lot of different accommodation, people can choose. Yeah. Sam, do you want to expand on your facial expression?
My facial expression was because there's not enough space. So as much as I
was actually wondering that, because I've seen videos of Crystal Boots, and
I mean the main ballroom is ginormous. There's plenty of space there. It's from a social perspective. We have 3 ballrooms from a social perspective.
Yeah.
And there's only a smaller room attached to the main room, so we would have to significantly downsize. So while there will be benefits like Nicola mentioned of all being under one roof, and you can just run backwards and forwards between your room, we would lose on the atmosphere, 1, and 2, the space that we would need to run both of the elements that we currently run. That was why things went like that.
And there's just something so special about having a competition in the Winter Gardens, where there's been hundreds of years of ballroom competition, everything. There's something really special about
that. Maddie wants to know if you, Maddie B, you plan on expanding in the U.S. at all? She's obviously on the other coast of the U.S. that's not near Rachel, so
there definitely has been some interest, I'll say that, but we haven't, again, like we mentioned earlier on, because of everything with coronavirus, we haven't really pursued any further at this stage. But like Nicola mentions, watch this space, because this year's our first year. Obviously Rachel was the first person Rachel has to run the first event in the USA. She's basically masters in line. She's a face of World Dance Masters during the weekend. If you see Rachel, she compares, She hosts the Spanish Hall. She does everything basically for us. So I think the first person that we had asked was definitely Rachel. But we have had people ask to host events in the USA, in other states. But again, as I say, they're just conversations at the minute. But watch this space. That's all I'll say. Have I said something too much, Sam?
I have no idea what you're talking about. So
that goes back to that whole unlimited budget thing.
I mean, obviously, we never say never to anything, right? So, yeah, I mean, there's like no significant plans, but like wherever the demand is, and if we can support it, as Nicola mentioned, like we all do this as part-time things. You know, it's a love thing as well. So we've also got to be able to fit things in.
You might say never to this next one. Fred would like to know if you guys miss competing yourselves.
Nope, never.
Right, Conor says never.
I miss the people. You know, I used to do a lot of pro-am. I do not miss competing. Like, I don't think, especially solo, like, I think it used to just stress me out. But pro-am, and when I was teaching all the dancers that I was dancing with, like, you know, one of the hardest decisions I ever made was to give up pro-am. Because, you know, losing that connection with all those people, like, I used to just love that. So I definitely miss that side of things.
Yeah, I miss competing. I don't miss the actual being on the floor and being judged part of it. But I miss practicing. I used to love practicing. I miss dancing with Ronnie. Like, that was my favourite thing, competing in couples and competing in pro with him. So I miss that side of it. But I think that's why we are all quite, and that's why I like the judges we have at World Dance Masters. Every single person who is on that floor judging has been a competitor at some point, and they know exactly what every person on that floor is going through. So I think because we have so many ex-competitors as our judges, I think we all understand what the kids are going through, and the adults. And I think that makes a big difference.
I mean, if you walk out on the floor in the Winter Gardens, that feeling is like, It's ridiculous, honestly. It's your stomach wants to eat you up. And I look at the kids, especially the tiny tots. You look at the tiny tots, like, they're so good. Like, I mean, it's just getting ridiculous every year. We go there, we're like, the standard is unreal. So I would not like to be competing against them. That's all I can say.
Georgina asked, what do y'all do for normal jobs, and how do y'all balance the work between WDM and your real life?
Okay, well, I'm a primary school teacher. Up until about 3 years ago, I was dancing full time, teaching lessons, traveling the world, which I loved. But I got so many injuries. I've just got so many injuries, and it got to the stage I was like, I can't keep doing this forever. And luckily, I got my degree when I left school, so I was able to go back to uni to do my postgrad in education, and now I am a primary school teacher, which I love. Love my job.
Sam?
Yeah, Nicola is clearly fantastic at being a teacher, so perfect profession. I work in marketing. I work for a company called Adobe. So I'm the head of marketing for the UK. I've been there for around 3 years, so I spend most of my days on calls like this, and helping drive, marketing efforts. And then, evenings and weekends is when we fit in all the WDM stuff. We're lucky because we've built some processes that help it, at least some level of automation. We've got more to go, especially to support Nicola on the competition side. We try and build as many processes in place that helps drive efficiency with some of the things that we drive. That helps take some of the pressure off, for sure.
Yeah, and I think Sam's skill in marketing, like, that has just helped us so much with Masters. Yeah. He's just brilliant at what he does. Like, some of the stuff he comes up with, I'm like, I don't even know how he does it, genuinely.
It usually gets
very big.
Yeah, if I need something done for school, I'm like, Sam, can you help me out with this, please?
Oh, no, yeah. And for me, I work at British Airways, so I'm currently a customer service manager. Not a great time right now for aviation, but I've been there for about 7 years. So I work as a manager on board the flights. So I go all over the world, And it's great because, it's nice to travel, but I don't know what's going to happen over the next couple of months because we're currently going through a very tough time, especially in the aviation industry. So who knows what will happen over the next couple of weeks. Masters might be my full-time job soon.
Well, thankfully, Conor, I've taught everything that I know to Conor now. So all of the social media stuff,
Oh, yeah.
He's doing a stellar job at it because I'm so glad I passed my knowledge onto him. And, now he's doing a fantastic job at that as well. I'm obviously joking, like, social media was far poorer before Conor came on board and started driving that and helping drive the brand in that way. So he plays an incredible role as part of the company now.
Sheila wants to know, what's the hardest part about judging at Worlds?
The hardest part is when you are walking around the floor and there's all these incredible children dancing their hearts out. They're smiling at you, you're smiling back at them, and you're thinking, I have to knock 7 of these kids out of this heat. It's awful. It's actually awful. And they just look you right in the eye and they smile at you and you're like, oh, it's the hardest thing ever. And I find it, one of the hardest things I find is not crying. I get so emotional watching some of these dances sometimes. It's terrible. So if you see me with my clipboard up like this, it's usually because I'm trying to wipe my eyes so my mascara doesn't run. Getting emotional, that's probably the hardest thing for me when I'm judging. I think because I know how much effort and time all these people have put into this and how much they want to be here and how much money they've spent. And I think because I see it from both sides, it all just comes together and I'm like, oh, I get quite emotional. It's bad.
Yeah, if you ever see me doing this after I dance and looking at Nicola, I'm checking if she's crying. She usually is. And I can usually clock exactly when she's going to be crying. Yeah, crying again.
Okay, so Mr. McKeever decided to join us today.
Oh, here we go.
This one's for Sam and Conor. He would like to know if you two plan on fulfilling your press-up obligations.
Oh, Fred Whitehouse, you are dead, by the way. I've just noticed it half an hour before I came on to this chat. We have to do it. I think it's for a good cause. That has to do it. We'll do it. I hope. I think.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I actually don't.
So.
The push-up challenge?
No,
He knows.
I know you're pain. Me and Kelly both got nominated today, thanks to the Baileys, so I know what you're going through.
25 days, though, it's a long time.
Yes, I will think of some creative way to deliver on that one.
Make Conor do it with you on his back.
Yeah.
Superimposed.
I can't even do it, I don't think, so I'll try.
Julie wants to know if you plan on developing the social side further. And someone else also asked a question. I'm going to butcher her name. Aisleen?
Ashley.
I'm still learning the names, guys. I'm sorry. If there's any plans on possibly doing social-only World Dance Masters events where y'all just have the social side and bring in instructors.
Yeah, go ahead, Sam.
Oh, I was waiting for you. Sorry.
Okay. It's something we can certainly look at. We've actually been approached by a couple of companies about running master social events, a Country Vibe event, which would be great fun because obviously Country Vibe is something we hold very close to our hearts. We love doing. We love dancing with the team. So a Country Vibe event would be fun. But I think our unique selling point with World Dance Masters is the fact that we do run competition as well, and it's great for our competitors to get to social dance, and we like that our social dancers can come and watch the competition too. So yes, it's definitely something we'd like to do, but I think we also want to keep that uniqueness of what World Dance Masters is. If we just run a social event, well, there's a lot of social events out there, so I think we want to keep our USP as competition and social if we can. That's not to say we wouldn't. As I say, a Country Vibe weekend event would be brilliant, but we'll have to wait and see how that goes.
Yeah, I know Conor would just want to run one tomorrow if he could. He would, but I think there's so many great events out there as well right now, and it's so if we were going to do one, we would want to really make what's the difference, to Nicola's point, how do we leverage the unique selling point of what World Dance Masters is to make sure it's a really value added event for the people out there. So So yeah, not off the table, but we would have to think about what it was and how we'd want to deliver it.
Good. For everyone at home, refresh your screen. I think there was just a little pause and freeze. So anybody watching, just refresh and you should be all good. On Facebook, we're still live on YouTube without any breaks, so that should work.
Awesome.
So awesome. Yep, like everyone said, here we come back. We got everyone coming back on Facebook. Refresh worked. Sorry guys, I don't know what happened there. Little hiccup there.
Check.
Like everyone says, all back now. Good. So, Nicola, I was just informed in the chat as well that you were nominated today by Miss Georgina for the push-up challenge. So
I was, but Georgina's done a lovely thing, which is great. She's getting you to post 2 pictures and 5 things that you're grateful for. I am totally up for that. So I will
why can I not get that?
Georgina's challenge. I was delighted to get that. To be fair, I couldn't do it anyway with all my injuries. I would end up in hospital and then I'd miss Worlds and then you wouldn't be happy. So, you know.
Okay, I feel like I've pulled a short straw here.
Sorry about that.
Sam, Stacy would like to know who your favorite scorer is and why is it her?
Oh.
I mean, it's a very good question, Stacey. Thank you for asking. It's very hard for me to pick a favourite scorer. I think we're a great tight-knit team of scorers at World Dance Masters. Bruno Vastel holds a very special place in my heart. He's the one that, really runs a lot of the scoring at Worlds and just makes life so easy for everyone at Worlds. But then, Stacey White is a fantastic scorer. She supports us so much throughout the rest of the year and all the other events we're at, including Europeans and some of our big Irish ones. So Stacey's also a fantastic scorer. She's helped take a lot of the weight off me. So yeah, fantastic question, Stacey. Thanks.
I also think now that with Stacey and Paul, we've got a new role for them. Every single event, they have to open up with a new TikTok. So every event that we do, they have to open up the event with the TikTok video. TikTok challenge.
Oh, man. A lot of people coming at home, they love the shirts. They love all the merchandise. How can anybody order it? Yep, as Nicola fixes hers. Look at that. We got ours on. The website's worlddancemasters.com, correct, guys?
Yeah.
Did I say that
Everything's
right?
on there. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think we're still donating to LDF with every purchase as well. So if you order anything, then £5 from your purchase will go to the Line Dance Foundation as well.
Yeah. And if you want a technical handbook, £5 of that donation will go to World Dance Masters annual charity. So every year we support a charity that's touched us in emotionally in some way. And this year, one of our charities is Shine for Shannon, which is the Boom Foundation. Oh. So anything with the technical handbook as well will go to support that initiative. So your support goes towards good deeds. And if you have any recommendations of merchandise you'd like to see us, move into and different products you'd like to see, feel free to reach out to Conor. I'm sure he'll then come to me and back to me about it. Maybe we can look to expand our line at some point.
You hear that, Conor? You're gonna get lots of messages now of all this different swag people want to.
Everything. And he sends some emails out, and at the end of it, it's like contact Conor at worlddancemasters.com. I'm like, when did you tell me about this?
Because now all your emails are going to go off and not his. That's why he does.
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
He doesn't have to answer it. You do.
Yeah, exactly. Oh.
So, are y'all doing anything fun during this lockdown time? Anything enjoyable?
I feel I should be learning a language or a new skill or something like that. But really, all I've been doing is eating. Lying about and doing Google Classroom for my kids at school. So I've been really not very productive at all. But Monday, fitness kick on Monday, back to healthy eating, maybe. But I just love chocolate and pizza actually, so it might not happen.
And pizza.
I'm going to have to get a Texas barbecue now. Thanks, Paul. I'll be getting this tomorrow for my dinner.
Conor, what are you doing?
I have literally done nothing since I've been on lockdown. I've done nothing. We've been quite busy with we're planning World Dance Masters Live. So this week has been quite busy. There's a lot of admin. But again, that's something that we're doing to try and support our judges, because a lot of them are self-employed. So everything that we've tried to, we get that there's a lot of people out of work right now, and people are struggling financially. So we try to make it as cheap as we possibly could, as well as support our staff. So a lot of our judges and staff are basically self-employed, and this is their main career. So if we can help in any way we can, we'll try to do that, and that's why we've used kind of our platform. So this week I've been quite busy doing that, but other than that, I haven't done much, to be honest.
That and the technical handbook.
Oh yeah. Well,
all of that, like all the marketing side of that, like you've spent so much time doing all of that, which has been awesome because so many people have supported that, and we've already donated like a load of money to the Line Dance Foundation. Off the technical handbooks. There's definitely a sizable amount there that's going to be donated to the annual charity. So you don't give yourself enough credit for the work that you've been doing behind promoting those.
Thank you. He's been nice for once. Oh my God, what's happening?
Okay, and we also wanted to do the live stuff to keep it going for our competitors. There's so much social stuff out there. But there's not too much for the competitors, unless outside of stuff the local instructors might be doing. And that's it. We really need to keep the local instructors supported throughout this whole thing, because they're the people everyone's going to want to go back to once this is all over. So if we can keep the competitors going, then hopefully all their coaches will be able to keep that interest up when we all finally get back to dancing. And that goes for the social side as well.
Also, I just forgot to mention on Sunday, we've also got a free class. So if you haven't signed up for World Dance Masters Live, Shane, I think, is this Sunday. Is that right, Nick? Yeah, Shane this Sunday is going to teach a country vibe routine live on World Dance Masters Facebook.
Which one?
And the winner, I think it was... Which one won?
We had a poll. I haven't checked. Let me check.
I know.
Do you know?
I know which one was winning last night when I voted.
The poll is finished. Yeah, the poll is closed, so it's backwards, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, about to say backwards was running away with it last night when I voted.
Yeah.
I was so proud of that poll. Yeah, look at that, backwards. 62% of the 62% of the vote was backwards.
Yeah. So this Sunday,
And we need people to learn it and film themselves doing it, and we'll give away a prize to the best video.
Yeah.
So make sure everyone needs to learn it, because Shane will make it great fun anyway. He's a great instructor, and everyone will have an absolute ball learning from him. Whether you're a competitor, social dancer, anyway, just give it a go, because we're looking for the most fun video. So hopefully everyone will get involved with that too.
Awesome.
I still got my cowboy hat. I can do the hat toss at the judges.
Yeah.
That's a good bit.
Paul James says, Conor, he would like shirts with all their faces on it, except for Shane's.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
Shane, no, you cannot get a prize. Shane wants to know if he can get the prize. Shane, you're teaching it. You don't get the prize. Come on. Oh, Maddie B has a good question, and this is a good one. What is a goal as WDM that you still hope to achieve that y'all haven't done yet?
Ooh.
Good one, I know.
Really good.
I've been watching the questions all week.
Hey, they've taken it easy on you. Shane and Fred were bad to each other.
I think probably getting more competitors from the States and maybe from other countries that we have and from Asia, maybe more competitors from these sort of areas. We're trying to build up in that way. And still pushing country vibe. That's something I'm really, really into, because I think it gives a really good platform for our All-Stars competitors to go on to do something professional within the industry, and that's something I feel really strongly about. A lot of organisations, dancers get to the top level and then they disappear and you don't see them again. We want to keep everyone with us as long as they can. And if by doing country vibe and giving opportunities to teach and judge, we can keep our dancers with us, then that's absolutely something I want to continue to do and continue to push, as well as continuing to get kids into our organisation as much as we can, because they're the future of the whole thing. We don't have children, then 10 years we're not going to have any events.
Yeah.
So getting
really
the kids
as well. A lot of the people that I danced with back in the day, they're all back again, and they're all dancing socially as social dancers. And actually, their kids are now competing in the competitions, which is actually amazing as well. So, if we can keep that going, I think it'll be great.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the thing. It's not what we haven't done yet, but we've got to keep building that momentum with young people. To keep them involved. That's, I think, always going to be one of our challenges that we have to keep, working towards, and making sure that people can see what this really is about, because there is still this, slight stigma attached. So the more we can show that, the more we can be promoting that, across all of our Facebook, so broader audiences can see it. That hopefully triggers, young people wanting to do it, and then having local classes and helping support those as well is, majorly important to help make sure that this survives. It looks good right now, but like they just said, like if that stops trickling through, then we lose what we have.
You should do a senior division, make all the old judges come back and dance against each other.
Oh, I would love that. I would love that.
I'm not sure they would. I'm not sure they would love that.
They probably won't love that, but hey.
If you did ex-judges Renegade, I'd be totally up for that. I think that would be good.
Yeah. So what's been your favorite WDM show that you've done so far?
Easy. This one's easy for me. It's The Greatest Showman. The atmosphere in the room as soon as that show finished. I was in tears. I remember Ronnie was right next to me, and literally everyone just jumped up, and it just, I don't know, it's the music, the dance, like the whole team that week. They literally worked 24 hours around the clock to make sure that show was perfect. And I think at the end of it, whenever everyone stood up, I literally nearly, I don't know, it was one of those moments where you're like, wow, this is crazy.
Yeah, that was special.
Yeah.
I think the one we did straight after Britain's Got Talent as well, that was quite special too. We did a superhero show. I think we'd done Britain's Got Talent in the May, and then it was the Worlds after that. We did the superhero show, and that was special as well, because we got to do backwards in front of our home crowd, the people that had supported us throughout Britain's Got Talent.
Yeah.
But The Greatest Showman was special, and I enjoyed the rock show as well.
Yeah, it was.
I was gonna say, making Shane a little fanboy of all, like a fanboy for Fred, was hysterical.
But that's just real life. That's real life. We don't actually have to make anything up. That's just. But let me just say, the show we have planned for World Dance Masters 21 could potentially beat them all. So, I can't say any more than that.
I'm looking forward to that. Like Shane says, yes. Shane, you were born to play that role. You were.
Too funny.
So I want to thank you guys for coming on. It was great talking to you. Great getting to chat with you guys about World Dance Masters. I know I'm hoping that it happens this year, for I can come over. I'm coming over. If you say you're holding it, I'm there. Me and Kelly already said we're buying our flights, getting on the plane. We don't care. We're coming over. So I love coming over to you guys. So I appreciate what y'all do over there. It's amazing, the atmosphere, everything.
Well, we love having you. Thanks for all your help and support at the event.
Absolutely.
And your photography, which we've been using on the social media.
Hey, I'm okay with that.
It's awesome.
Speaking of the photography and social media, y'all's picture is the one that won our contest. That's going on our book cover. I really thought a half-naked Joey Warren was going to put up a better fight.
Well,
I really did.
So did I. I was like, we've got competition.
I was shocked. I was like, they're all picking Maddie. I'm like,
yeah, I
put Joey up there shirtless.
I was like, I need to share this.
Sure. But thank you guys for joining me. Thank you all for everyone out there that joined us in. Sorry about the little technical problem. If you haven't yet, like, follow, share. That way you don't miss any of them. If you're not a member of Streamline, go over and check out Streamline. At the end of Friday's show, which happens to be Paul James and Stacey White, which I have no idea what they're planning, what
Good
they're
luck.
dressed as. I'm kind of scared. But we're giving away a pair of Beats headphones to one member of Streamline, plus a year's worth of workshop videos. So go check that out. It's on our 7 Hour Media page, what you have to do. But join tomorrow. I got the most recent member of Country Vibe that's hit the social scene, Jessica Devlin, joining me. So that should be fun. I'm sure I'm going to get lots of Shane stories since Shane teaches out of her studio, so that should be fun. So again, thank you guys for joining me. Until tomorrow, guys. Later.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Kelly.